missä on lonkero.
Perkele.
Okay, kaikki, tervetuloa takaisin Combat Arms channel. That actually sounded pretty freaking good if I do say so myself. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with that because, yeah, I have been trying to say that for, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes now. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with that because it seems very, very complicated. But yeah, the theme of today's intro and video is going to be the Finnish Defense Forces. Now, today we are checking out the Patria AMOS. This is something that I've wanted to check out for a while just because it looks super dope. But especially after we checked out the Swedish Archer artillery system, I've really wanted to check it out. So yeah, it's about 4 minutes long. It looks like this video is actually it looks like it's part of a military series. So the quality is pretty good. I think we're going to get some pretty good background. But of course, if you guys have anything to add it down in the comment section. And of course, if you guys want to go ahead and roast me, I had to rub off the camo paint because it was just making me sweat too much. Now it just looks like I got my ass beat or something. But yeah, feel free to roast me down in the comment section. I really don't know what the idea was for that video. That's just what I think of when I think of the Finnish Defense Forces. So take that as you will, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out this video. Quality.
Number 3, the most deadly indirect fire weapon system on the planet.
Damn, okay. That's a claim right there.
The Patria AMOS. Origin, Finland, Sweden. Cost, $10 million. Weight, 26 tons.
Oh, okay. 10 million just for one? I don't know if that's, I mean, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm so used to like hearing of crazy US defense budgets where you talk about like the F-35 and even like nuclear submarines where they cost like literally billions of dollars. So yeah, 10 million sounds about right for a system like this.
Length, 25 feet.
That seems kind of compact.
An ordinary
Maybe.
mortar is a fearsome prospect for any infantry soldier.
The advantage of a mortar is the mortar is going to come down into the target area and all that fragmentation is going to go straight across the target area.
Yeah, the fragmentation definitely going to be a doozy. But when you're considering a 120 millimeter mortar system, like that's going to have some pretty good explosive power and concussive power as well. So for infantry taking indirect fire, even if it's not accurate, even still, it's going to add a lot of pressure to you. And if you have a really squared away mortar team or a system like this where you can get some really accurate indirect fire, it's going to add a lot of pressure to the infantrymen. And of course, it's going to cause their formations to sort of split up a lot.
Which makes it a much more effective anti-personnel weapon.
The AMOS is a game changer because
So
it
cool.
multiplies that destructive capability.
Oh, the direct
Fully
fire.
automatic high rate of fire. And the superb all-terrain mobility of the Patria armored vehicle that carries it.
Essentially, we're moving away from big tanks that weigh a lot, that have tracks, a lot of parts that can go wrong, to much lighter armored vehicles that have wheels.
Okay, that seems like a really odd comparison. Like, a mobile mortar system is not a tank, and it's not really trying to be a tank. Of course, it's nice if it can have direct fire capabilities, but comparing the two is kind of like apples to oranges, I think. It's an artillery system, and for it to be a sort of, well, okay, it's a mortar system, I'm going to be accurate. But for it to be an indirect fire weapon system, that's very different from it trying to be a tank. If you have this indirect fire system, it adds the indirect fire capability, you know, specifically the high angle attack you would get from a mortar or artillery system. And it being mobile like this is great because obviously you don't need to have a bunch of infantrymen trying to carry around all these mortar components. So you can move it very quickly. You can fire and maneuver, so you're not, you know, taking counter battery fire, or, you know, I don't know what the mortar equivalent would be. So you're not getting, you know, a lot of indirect fire on yourself. So it's nice for it to be maneuverable. But again, a tank serves a different purpose entirely.
The Patria armored modular vehicle takes the mortar from being a cumbersome weapon manhandled into battle.
Yeah, manhandled.
To a battlefield speedster capable of 60 miles per hour across the toughest terrain.
Jeez.
The turret mounting gives a full 360-degree field of fire.
Really? Damn, okay.
And can elevate up to 85 degrees to aim at targets more than 6 miles away.
Okay, not bad.
The Patria carries a load of 60 high explosive mortar bombs, which AMOS can unleash at a rate of 24 per minute.
It just sounds weird hearing mortar bombs. Like, yeah, it is a bomb. I'm so accustomed to hearing mortar round. I mean, I've never heard anybody refer to a mortar round as a bomb. They wouldn't be wrong if they said that, but yeah, the kind of switch in the terminology definitely caught me off guard. Let me know if it caught you guys off guard too.
Compared to a manual system, you might be able to knock off maybe 5 a minute, maybe 6. To be able to do 24 per minute is
damn.
impressive.
That's fast. But
Yeah.
what makes the AMOS truly revolutionary is the automatic loading system, which gives it the ability to deliver a devastating burst of 4 rounds in 5 seconds.
Oh, I wanted to see it. That's
If you have a
freaking
slow rate of
quick.
fire, after the first round strikes the target, everyone's going to take cover.
Yeah, or
If
be
you have a weapon
dead.
system that can barrage the target with 5, 10, 15 mortar projectiles within seconds, you'll be able to catch the enemy unaware.
That's not even gonna catch me unaware. Like, if you start hitting me with that many rounds, I'm gonna go condition black immediately. Especially like with a system like this, you could probably get some pretty accurate indirect, or like, I mean, it looks like they're kind of using in a direct fire sort of role. If you get some accurate fire that quick, then yeah, you're going to be panicking very, very quickly, especially if you're in like terrain like this. Yeah, you could probably get behind some micro terrain, but it's not going to do you too good. So yeah, you're going to be having a very, very bad time if you're getting hit with a weapon system that can fire that quick. Jeez.
There is literally nowhere to hide from the overwhelming firepower.
Damn, that was pretty quick. Again, I think the fact that they
The
can...
AMOS has not yet been seriously tested in combat. The combination of mobility and firepower gives high versatility.
Oh, I like this.
The design of the fully automatic mortar system is truly groundbreaking. The AMOS is the first of a new class of weapon system. Overall, the AMOS is only held back by its service record to claim the number 3 position.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's nice if you can prove it in combat, but if it works really well in training, it's probably going to work really well in combat unless it's just breaking down, and that's kind of just a maintenance thing in and of itself. But yeah, it's definitely different from a lot of other things. For us, we have the Striker and we have the mortar carrier vehicle, the MCV, and that's kind of our equivalent to what this is. But again, they're not on the same level whatsoever. That's literally a Striker with a mortar in the back, and you have just mortarmen still loading it and everything. So it's not like this, but I think it's the closest that we have. I know the US is looking at, I think, the AMOS, and they were also looking at the Archer as well. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Trying to go from a Striker where you have people in the back with the tube to go into something like this is a big upgrade. Yeah, so I've known some pretty solid mortarmen, and I've seen the damage they can do when they're really effective with their weapon system, especially when you're talking about like operating that thing in the handhelds. But again, this thing it's on another level. Like, you can't really compare the two. You can't really compare a normal infantry, mortar crew with something like this, because it is that much more maneuverable. Again, you can get that high angle just out of the gun as far as the 85 degree, but you could also move it into that direct fire. So it's awesome to be able to have something like that, because then you can use it as more of a direct fire infantry support vehicle, like actually moving up and almost maneuvering with the infantry troops. So it doesn't necessarily need to be this vehicle that's kind of chilling in the rear. You could actually use it like that, which is awesome. So it does kind of fill a bunch of different niches, I guess. I'm curious as to, y'all's experience. Now, again, in the Swedish Archer video, you guys were telling me that the AMOS was pretty much better than the Archer in like every way. So I want to know your feedback. If you have any experience with this particular vehicle compared to just like a normal mortar crew, or maybe even like another sort of mortar vehicle, let me know how you guys like it. Let me know what you've noticed works really well with this system as opposed to other things. I mean, it seems like it's working pretty well if the US is interested in it. I mean, I can't really see a whole bunch of downsides to it. As long as the armor is like pretty solid, I mean, it's very maneuverable. So you do have that going for it. You can move that thing pretty freaking quick. So even if you are taking fire, you can get out of there very quickly if you do need to. But yeah, it looks very slick. It looks like it works really well. And I'm sure the crew are pretty happy they don't have to be lugging around these massive mortar base plates and the freaking massive mortar tube. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that with a 120 millimeter or an 81 millimeter. But you got to think, even for like a 60 millimeter mortar crew, they're not having a good time. And if you can switch to something like this, then yeah, you're definitely going to be much better off. It's going to be much easier to get this thing into the fight than any of, you know, our traditional mortar systems, even our Striker mortar carrier vehicle. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. If you guys have any other videos to recommend, I've seen a few videos for the AMOS. This is just the one that I think looked the best, I guess, as far as like not having like a robot voice over it. But yeah, if you guys have any other AMOS videos, you can recommend them down below if you feel like they're a little bit better, and I'll try and check it out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the intro. I'm very, very hot. I took off the face paint and I'm still kind of struggling. But yeah, hopefully you guys appreciated the efforts. And again, thanks to Vados Deleka for the awesome gear and whatnot. And also thanks for the fan for the patch. You know who you are. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one.